We are live. We are live. Come on in, y'all. Come on in. Come on in. Come on in. Come on in. We are live. Come on in. Come on in. Only going to be live for just a few minutes. This is a very late / very early live, very late / very early. My mind was racing, so I had to hop on here really quick. Very late / very early live. I know. Y'all let me know what city, what state, what country you're checking in from. For a lot of people on the East Coast, you are probably just getting in from partying at the Essence Festival. A lot of you were probably at the Essence Festival. You're probably just getting in. So, come on in just for a few minutes. Let me know what city, what state, what country you're checking in from. And I'm about to read something to y'all really quick. I just had to get this out of my head, if you don't mind. Really quick. Atlanta's in the building. New York, Houston, New Zealand. Good to see the family. Cape Town, South Africa is in the building. That's right, Sunday morning out there. LA, Tampa, Uganda. It's good to see our brothers and sisters from the motherland of Africa. London is in here. Tampa, Florida, Nashville, Tennessee, Houston, Texas. Come on in, y'all. I'm gonna just do a quick, have to read something really quick. Had to get this off my mind. London, UK is in here. Queens is in here. Again, South Africa, Naptown, LA, per usual, as you should be. Okay, so there are a number of things that I had racing through my mind that I really want to go over with everyone, but I'm not going to go over it all tonight. I'm not even going to go through a 30th of it tonight. I'm just going to probably touch on a 1/50th really quick. So I was watching this video, a few video clips, if you saw, a few video clips and a few pictures that I saw from some of the African brothers and sisters who were crossing from Morocco. And they were fleeing the country for safety and for a number of other reasons. And one, this is not getting mainstream coverage. I think now it is, but it wasn't for the first couple days. So now that it's getting coverage, people are comparing it to the Ukraine. And what is interesting about this is everybody named Mama was jumping up dealing with the Ukraine. White people were jumping up talking about the Ukraine. Black people were talking about the Ukraine. People from all parts of the melanated diaspora were talking about the Ukraine. Pray for the Ukraine. Support the Ukraine. Ukraine. Not realizing who they are talking about supporting. But again, human life is human life. We get that. However, not looking at the pharmaceutical side of it. Not looking at the fact that America is really only interested in the Ukraine because there are over 20 pharmaceutical companies that are in Kiev, Ukraine. And America has invested in so many doses of these shots that are being manufactured in the Ukraine. So it is about money, a return on the investment. It had nothing really to do with America all of a sudden caring about Ukrainian people. Let's make that very clear. It is by far one of the most hypocritical gestures ever to try to send money to another nation rather than sending that money to the very much so needed areas within your own country. Your own people need that money. Your own citizens need that money. New roads, schools, the homeless issue, famine, you name it. Okay. So it was a lie from the beginning. But at the same time, while people were raising money for the Ukraine, while America was talking about this as a human rights issue, let's pray for Ukraine, support the Ukraine, etc., now here we are with Black African brothers fleeing from areas that are around Spain, Morocco, etc. And it's just interesting to me because if you look at the history of the Moors, if you look at the history of the Moors, white folks who don't know this, black people civilized the Caucasian in Europe. The Moors who crossed into what is known as Europe, which is also named after a black woman. White people were living in barns. White people were living with their animals. They had their animals in something called, or they didn't. We, when we went into that area, helped them to separate their animals into separate territories because white people were sleeping with their animals. They ate with their animals. They bathed with their animals. They would have their defecation in buckets and they would just throw it out the window, throw it out in the middle of the street. Feces, they would just urinate out there. They did not know about medicine. They did not know thoroughly about music. They did not have sophistication. They did not have schools. They did not have most of that. The Moors civilized them between 710 and 1492. Ibn Tariq, the general who led them into what is now known as Spain, when they were led there, they brought in high sciences and mathematics and different forms of building, what people know as masonry building. And I'm talking about actual brick masonry. They brought in the building of certain additions to buildings. They brought music and the musical instruments. They brought medicine and the different forms of medicine and the different forms of cleaning, including alcohol for the external part of the body that they refer to as al-Kul. They brought in all of this. They raised the sidewalks and illuminated the sidewalks with lanterns, and they helped the European to become civilized. They brought in some of the first universities and schools, and they set up a system to pay the teachers, to pay. It was very, very, very sophisticated and civilizing is what the Moors did for the Caucasian Europeans. Somebody said, I'm at the club learning history. You a fool for that, but I respect you for that. Shout out to you on that. I appreciate that. And for those of you in the UK who said it's 9:47 in the morning, appreciate you. Those on the East Coast who are up at 4 in the morning, I appreciate you as well. Those on the other part of the planet, on the other continents, where it's 6 in the morning, 9 in the morning. Some of you, I think it's noon, depending on what part of the planet you're in. Shout out to you. I appreciate that. I'll just be a few more minutes longer, but yeah, you got me with that club. When you in the club right now, I hope you're not throwing dollars and listening to me right now. Don't. All right, whatever. Get your knowledge game on. Okay, so the Moors went into Europe, and according to Caucasian historians, they changed the narrative, and rather than them saying they were civilized and cleaned up, and they were made into more of a human being with a level of dignity and uprightness, they use the term conquered. The Moors conquered Spain, as in invaded Spain, as in they invaded and gave you medicine, invaded and gave you forms of cleaning yourself, invaded and gave you music and writing and education, invaded and literally built you into human beings to where you could actually live a healthier, more civilized life. So they use the term conquered. Interesting. Okay. Next point. When I noticed the lack of care when it came to the African brothers crossing over that border recently, and they were beating them and all of that, right? Same thing that was happening to the Africans over in the Ukraine. While people were saying pray for Ukraine, you had Ukrainians and the Ukrainian government attacking black Africans. Here's my point. Until we do something for ourselves, until we understand the system we're dealing with, until we understand how united the culture of other people are, we will not be able to be solid as a people. We will not be able to stand up for ourselves. We will not be taken seriously. That's my main thing. You cannot be taken serious. by a people who you trust, who openly show you that they do not care about you. You can't be taken serious by them. They actually are going to look at you and see what's wrong with you. Why do you keep trusting me? I show you that I don't like you. I show you that I don't care about you. I tell you that I hate you. I literally create an entire atmosphere and system to guarantee the perpetuation of my superiority and your inferiority, and you still want to be around me. What is wrong with you? You don't want to be around your own people, but you want to be around mine. You attack your own and you justify when I attack yours. You're sick. This is what the system of white supremacy thinks, and they laugh. You niggas just can't get right, can you? You love me so much. I was reading something here in the ISIS papers again by Dr. Frances Cress Welsing. If you have not gotten this book, you need to get this book. I'm only going to be on for a few minutes because I am going to be headed to the mosque in the morning, because we do go to the mosque. Don't get it twisted. Chapter 15 in the book, The ISIS Papers by Dr. Frances Cress Welsing, is titled The Symbolism, Logic, and Meaning. Poor connection. Okay, let me know if y'all see me. It says in chapter 15 of the ISIS Papers by Dr. Frances Cress Welsing, the symbolism, logic, and meaning of justifiable homicide in the 1980s. That is the title. That is the title of chapter 15, page 183, the ISIS Papers. She says here, powerful statement. She says, quote, "Black people are afraid, but black people are going to have to get over their fear. Black people do not know what is happening, but black people are going to have to learn and understand what is happening. Black people are not thinking, but black people are going to have to begin thinking. Black people are not being quiet, but black people are going to have to start getting quiet so they can think. Black people are not analyzing and planning. Black people are going to have to begin analyzing and planning. Black people do not understand deep self-respect, but black people are going to have to learn the meaning and practice of deep self-respect. Black people are going to have to stop permitting black children to play with parenthood. Black people are going to have to stop moaning, rocking, crying, complaining, and begging. Black people are going to have to stop thinking that rhyme and rhetoric, meaning talking, will solve problems. Black people are going to have to stop finger pointing and singing. Black people are going to have to stop dancing and clowning. Black people are going to have to stop laughing and listening to loud radios. All of these behaviors and many more have absolutely nothing to do with addressing the challenges and conditions of the open warfare continuously being waged against the black collective." Now, the reason why, and this was in the 80s that she wrote that, page 183, chapter 15. You and I do not want to get up and do something for ourselves, so we will do any and every damn thing to get around taking responsibility. We'll dance, we'll sing. Y'all know your brother loves dancing. I love singing. I love having fun. I love playing sports. I love doing all that. I'm into all of that, but I am not into that before work. I am into that after work. As the Honorable Minister Farrakhan said, recreation comes after work. Recreation comes after work. So my point on that is, why the hell are we celebrating as if we really got everything together? What are we dancing around for? What are we doing? I don't get it. What are we doing? We're making some good moves. We got some momentum going. Okay, good. Put your damn foot on the gas. Don't take your foot off the gas as if we've made it to our destination. We got our own everything. We got our own banks, our schools. We got all the different hospitals we need. We have all the grocery stores we need. We have all the land we need. We have all the farms. We have all the technology. We have all the transportation systems. We have all the legal everything. We don't. It's not there yet. Keep going. That's my point. Because until we have what we need for our own survival, we will continue to rely on others for our survival, and we will continue to be laughed at, ridiculed, mocked, attacked, and we will look stupid. That's why it just makes me, it doesn't make me shake my head at us. It makes me shake my head at how in love we are with our own ignorance and our mediocre life of being perpetuated as some subhuman low-grade niggas who don't want to get better. We don't want to work because it's too hard. We don't want to think because it hurts. We don't want to become disciplined because it's tiring. We don't want to do shit that takes effort outside of things that make us laugh, dance, rap, sing, or ridicule and gossip about one another. Those things we love to put our energy into. That's very simple. That's what we like. But the sad thing is, while there are certain moves we're making, we are doing a lot of good things. We are building businesses. We are collaborating. We are establishing things. We are buying land. It's moving in that direction. It is growing. We have to continue to move. That's all. That's all I'm saying. I just encourage us to continue to move in that direction, only because I watch us making moves and I watch us progressing, but then I also see how we slide back too much and how we make room for failure and we make room for being mediocre and half-ass on too much of this stuff. No, we can't do it. That's why the system continues to do what it does, because they know damn well there are enough of us who are going to go along with it. It's Stockholm syndrome. We are addicted to our slave master in the system. We love it. We love it, and it's a problem. Only because if you are able to focus all of your energy into the things that don't build you up, then who is it building up when your energy is being pushed out? Where is it going? It is building up somebody and or something. If it's not building you up, then it's building someone else up. Black people attacking black people does build up someone else's system. Black people attacking each other does fund someone else. Black people being divided does help somebody to become united. Black people being broke does help somebody else make money. Black people being sick does help someone else become healthy. This is the actual fact. Black people being ignorant does help somebody become smart. Black people being low driven does help somebody else to have more drive. That's where it is. That's where it is. So when I was asked a question about the Ukraine, when the situation with the Ukraine was happening, I had to bring it to where it actually is. America does not give a damn about black folks, period. America doesn't give a damn really about anybody, including poor white folks. America doesn't care about that. America cares about the rich. They care about making the rich richer, making the poor poorer, and of course getting rid of the vast majority of those who don't necessarily contribute to society outside of fueling their corporations. Other than that, they're not interested in caring about anybody. They don't give a damn. Period, point blank, period. The sooner we get that, the sooner we will focus on ourselves, build up our own everything, rely on ourselves and God, of course, and create solutions for our own. That's it. Because when I heard about the Ukraine situation, I looked at that, and then I turned around and I said, well, that's interesting. Y'all gave refuge to the Syrians, right? People from Syria. You gave refuge to certain other white folks from Europe, like you did before. And you brought the poor men of Europe. You brought the Italians in. You brought the Irish in, right? Who y'all refer to as the niggas of Europe. Okay. You brought them in back then in the 1800s and before. But when it comes to black folks, you don't want them to come in. You brought the Syrians in recently. You rejected the Haitians a couple months ago. Don't let them niggas come in. We'll let some more white folks come in, not the niggas. Okay. Ukrainians, pray for Ukraine. No word about the Africans over in Morocco or Spain crossing into that area. Nope, we're not even worried about that. Again, it's 2022. And I want y'all to understand, the same mentality that's going on over there is the same mentality that's impacting us here. We just have to get it through our heads. We have to do something for ourselves. That's really all I wanted to get on here and say real quick, because there's too much going on. That's all. We just have to do something for ourselves and continue doing something for ourselves. The moment we look at the fact that the famine that's already on the way when it comes to the lack of food, if you realize that, then that means we literally have to have our own farms. Brothers, sisters, we have to have our own farms. Literally. We have to feed ourselves. Literally. Aside from that, we're going to have to clothe ourselves. So the cotton fields that our ancestors were being used to pick the cotton in, we are going to have to purchase and run the cotton fields to create our own clothing. The banks that established the slave circumstance when it comes to our money, we're going to have to establish our own banks. And I know some people who are hearing this are like, man, that's not even possible, man. Black folks ain't that organized. Yes, we are. Yes, we have been. Yes, we will be. We have no other choice. Period. We cannot rely on anybody else. Period. I'm already thinking on this level. You have to get gold. Well, RIZZA, do you got some? Yes, I do. We have to get silver. Well, RIZZA, you talking, do you have silver? Yes, I do. We got to get land. Well, RIZZA, you got some? Yes. Definitely got some acres up under my name. For damn sure. Yes. Live by example. Lead by example. We all have to do it. You don't have to rely on yourself. Get with 5 to 7 like-minded people and get it going. Get it cracking. Make it happen. This is where it is. Period. We cannot rely on them anymore, because I'll be damned if something goes down to where they shut down certain things as they are already planning to do and as they have done before. And then the lines get filled up at the grocery stores. The line gets filled up at the banks, and people trying to take the money out. People trying to get food, and the grocery stores close. And the banks are saying, well, look, there's no money here, like they did about a year or two ago with Wells Fargo, where they were saying we can't allow people to take any money out. Understand, it has been done. It's going to be done again. So prep for it and create the solutions. That's all. It's just very simple. I have a whole lot more that I'm going to go into at another time, but I just had to drop those 2 things. That specific thing I read from the ISIS papers was one. And if y'all know the layers of how much is going on. And by the way, if you see this microphone, it's because I'm getting my equipment together for my podcast that I will be launching. But I'm not going to be behind a computer for the majority, like I'm not, because I'm a brother in the street. I'm not interested in being behind the camera the majority of the time, like a lot of people are. It's not how this goes. Somebody was asking me about CERN and them opening up and saying they're going to open up a portal in the dimensions on July 5th and all that. Let me say this. Regardless to what the hell CERN does or does not do, you need to have your stuff together at home. Some of us get a little too out. Okay, let me bring it back down to it for those who are watching, whether if you're black, brown, red, yellow, or white. Some of us put our attention on things that we have no control over at all when we have too many things that we need to get done in our own personal lives. At this point, I'm going to just mention this clearly. Get your damn life together, because there are too many of us who do not have our basics in order. Stop arguing about whether the earth is flat or round. It does not matter at this point. We are here. By far one of the greatest examples of one of the attention-grabbing arguments that virtually does nothing for the human family at all. Sorry, not sorry. There are too many of us arguing about things that we have no control over that literally don't necessarily affect us in the way that we think. Get focused, please. It's easier to be distracted and to focus on all these things that you don't have to get your hands dirty to get involved in. That way it'll take off the attention, or take off the energy, take off the responsibility, so that you can just focus on something else. No. Get your life together. Get your insurances together. Get your gold. Get your silver. Get land. Work on what you have at home. Get with the people you have next to you and figure out a productive way to make a little more money, if not a lot more money. Establish businesses, get your food together, get your emergency supplies together, get your few hundred gallons of spring water at home, get your stuff. Get your stuff. Please. I'm saying stuff, but you know what I want to say. Get your stuff together. Every single one of us, get your stuff together. Because we talk too damn much and we're listening to so many people talk about so many things, and we're not getting back down to the practical, actual solutionary things in our own personal lives. Get your damn life together. Get your health together. So many people talk about fighting and they cannot fight. And if they got into a fight with a real fighter, they will get their ass whooped in less than 2 minutes because they don't train. Start training. Start exercising. Get your health up by getting your nutrition in order. Please get your vitamins, your minerals, your herbs. Drink more water. Start budgeting your money. The little money you got, start budgeting your money. Now, I just want to, please, we just going on some basic stuff as people right now. Let's not go all into the sky on things and the deep history things and the metaphysical things and the overall philosophical. And we don't need to go into all of that right now. I saw someone ask about CERN, where they are talking about in the governmental format of opening up portals on July 5th and peeking into other portals and universes to see this or that or whatnot. The government currently is looking at Mars, and they've been looking at Mars. The government currently is and has been for over 40 years looking at the moon. The government is and has been for over the last 10 to 60 years doing surveys of the planets to see which one of these planets have life, which are inhabitable. They've already seen Mars, and they said they've determined that there was water on Mars. Wherever there's water, there's life. They did the same thing with the moon, determined that there is water on the moon, and so wherever there's water, there's life. They said these two are inhabitable. We're still looking to see which others are inhabitable, and let us send probes, robots up there to go along and survey the actual environment to see where we can station our next freaking Hilton hotel. White folks are looking at other planets because they have looked at the reality that they have damaged this one so much that they think they're going to go and do the same thing on another one. Okay. For those who are white listening, you got to remember, I'm a black man. I'm not just a black man on social media. I'm an actual black man, a real one. So when I speak, it's sometimes very militant, and I'm sure you can understand. And thank you for understanding. Even if you didn't understand, see how I just switched that? You should be able to understand why that has to be done. Because I'm a black man, really. The planet is going to do what it is going to do. Regardless to what anyone says or does, the planet is going to do what it's going to do. But I will say, black people are not the ones who have done to the planet, by and large, what the Caucasian white man from a racist, evil, devil, supremacist mentality, an unquenchable thirst for power, a lust for dominance has done, creating ways to kill human beings in such a manner, creating ways to profit from destroying human beings, creating ways, apparatuses, machinations, machines, calculated efforts and maneuvers to get maximum profit by putting out maximum death, poison, manipulated everything. Finding ways to do the maximum highest level of evil for no reason at all. We didn't do this. He did. We did not drop a bomb on Hiroshima and Nagasaki. He did. We did not use the atom bomb and drop it in multiple areas. We did not use depleted uranium and drop it in Iraq, poisoning the air, poisoning the water, poisoning the soil for over 30 years because depleted uranium poisons everything for decades, to where children will be born from parents who were poisoned by this with tons of deformities and all throughout the Middle East and parts of Africa. We did not use the shots to eradicate millions of people over the last 70 plus years. We did not come up with viruses that would eradicate another large percentage of people. We didn't do this. Not us. We're not trying to come up with an apparatus, a large mechanic machine, or should I say, pardon me, nanoparticle technology to go up in a cloud format to block out the sun because the sun is harming us. We didn't come up with that idea. That came out of the mind of Bill Gates and other evil, wicked, disgusting people at the top who have this God complex. We want to block out the sun. Why would you need to block out the sun, which is the abundance of life? It gives life to all that it shines on. It is very sick mentality. And the only reason why I'm bringing all this up is that so we can all understand why the hell we need to focus on getting our own personal lives together. Because you have a group of crazy as hell people who are doing things in their area that will affect your area. Get it together. Stop pointing at everybody else and get your own stuff together. I don't even understand why we argue about people on the internet and gossip about relationships and this and all that when you don't have your stuff together at home. I don't understand that. Get your stuff together. Somebody said, why did Allah create white people? The Holy Quran says that Allah and Satan were having a conversation. Whether if you believe it or not, but I'm just answering your question. You have to know the history of the Caucasian white man and the grafting process. You have to know the origin of the white man when it comes to how they were grafted out of our being through a process of 600 years of grafting. The same way you do when it comes to breeding animals. People breed. That's why they called it breeding. And that's why they did it with us in slavery. They would breed us. Lighter with the lighter to make a lighter baby. Darker with darker to keep the dark alive. Darker with lighter to make a mixed, caramel colored or slightly mocha colored, etc. It's scientific breeding, selective breeding. But you have to look at the white man who is the last in the genetic line. The last of the genetic line of human beings. The very end. Black at the top, white at the bottom. And I'm saying that when it comes to the actual line of genes, you have to understand the history of the Caucasus Mountains. You have to understand what genetic mutation is. They did come from us. Don't get this twisted. In a process. It's not just that clean and dry, but it is a process of this. A process. The Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan goes into this in heavy depth. And whether if you believe it or not, it's up to you. But the geneticists know. They know. They literally know. Without the black man and woman, there would be no white people on planet Earth. It's just that simple. So that's not racism. That's just the basics of genetics and the basic language of genetics. Just know that. But definitely understand what albinism is. Understand all of this. It's a lot to go in, and I did not expect to go into that tonight. But there was a purpose. I'll say it this way really quick. You cannot know what the ultimate good is unless you know what the ultimate evil is, number one. You cannot know what good is unless it is compared to something that is bad. You will not know what light is unless there is darkness present. You must know what one is in order to understand the other. It has to be understood. White people have a different nature from black people. Some people will try to get irritated and angry with that because they want to come up with this idea, this pseudo idea, fake idea that we are all one. No, we're not. And when I say no, we're not, I'm saying that we are different, and what makes us beautiful is our differences, are our differences. Our differences are what we should complement each other on and complement each other with. For our differences, we have different flavors. different cultures, different styles, and we should be able to understand and learn and respect one another for those differences. By me saying we're all one is me literally invalidating the uniqueness of all of us individually. That is not proper. It is not right. It is not responsible. A Mexican does not speak every language. A black man does not speak every language, but we naturally, seeing how every human being came from us, we should, and of course every human being should be able to learn languages. But my point, I digress, is our uniqueness, our beauty is in our uniqueness, and we have that beauty. The problem is when there are groups of people who are doing their best to be superior to others because of what they feel is better in their difference than that of others in their difference and differences. So that lust that the original white man has, that God complex the original white man has, that mentality that the original racist devil, and I'm using this term specifically because the white man was absolutely and is the embodiment of what we had the image of when it comes to what a devil is. No one has done more horror to us as a people, not even us to each other, than what the white man has done. That is a fact. So everyone has a description for what they know to be something. And what we have known to be a devil, which means one who devalues, by the way, the word devil, one who devalues or one who denatures a thing and removes it from its nature. The white man removed us from our name, language, culture, our religion, our God, our customs, what we knew to be how we dressed, what we knew to be how we ate, what we ate, our diets, everything was literally stripped completely. You can't even conceive of such a thing. You can't. You cannot conceive of such a thing. And the Arab slave trade using the name Islam to do evil too. Heavily Caucasian Arab, by the way, not the original black Arabs. The original Arabs are black, African. Let's make that clear. The original Arabs are black, African. Let's make that clear. I'm gonna say that one more time. The original Arabs are black, African. That is a fact. There's no argument with that. Anybody who even tries, don't even go there. But that slave trade, when it comes to the Caucasians in the world of Islam, has to be understood too. Don't try it. Don't even try it. Well, Islam, stop it. No, Islam did not. No. Arabs. Just like Arabs, some Arabs today will have a woman walk 10 paces behind them. That's not Islam doing that. That's Arabs and Arab culture having women walking 10 paces behind them. Arab culture versus Islam. Separate the two. Brother RIZZA, Islam doesn't subscribe to that nonsense. I'm a black man. That ain't how we operate. That's not what Islam teaches. That's what Arabs in certain Arab practices of their culture push, which is crazy as hell. Crazy. Separate the two. Whenever you hear Negroes try to use this, well, y'all following religion that enslaved y'all. Knock it off. Stop. I'm a black man in America, born in Compton. What Arab came to Compton and enslaved us in Compton? Shut your damn mouth. The ignorance of some people because they want to argue over religion. You look stupid. And I'm saying that word specifically. Don't have any of our things together. Don't have all that we need. Don't have all of our stuff in the proper place. But we want to argue over religion. Stop it. Stop. Because the people who run this world right now, they don't give a damn about religion and they don't care about God. You arguing. They don't give a damn. They don't care about God. You can do all that. They don't give a damn. So when you're talking about black people, you are talking about the Moors. You talk about black people, you are talking about the Hebrew Israelites, because black people are the original true Hebrew Israelites. When you're talking about black folks, you are talking about the original practice of what Islam is. Period. That's what you're talking about. The original Muslims, black Africans. When you're talking about, we are all these. That's why we laughing at folks. We ain't this, we that. We ain't Moors, we this. We ain't Pan-Africanists, we Hebrews. We ain't Hebrews, we Muslims. We ain't Negro. We are all of that. Depending on what time and location is where the different label or description would be. It's kind of that simple, just to be honest with you. Depending on what part of the planet you are on and at what time you were there, it will change and modify what you will call yourself as a part of our labels. But we are that. We're the Moors. We are the Hebrew Israelites. We are the original Muslims. The word Muslim means one who submits to do the will of God. Simple as that. Pan-Africanist, meaning going back to Africa. Well, the planet belongs to us. Africa is our throne, but the planet is our home because the original people of the planet Earth happens to be us too. So the planet belongs to us. Simple. Stop arguing about labels while this system don't give a damn about none of them. To this system, you a nigga. Meaning a dead black man, because you still ain't paid attention to the fact that you're not up in a lively manner, moving collectively in a united fashion towards building everything for yourself and separating from the system. Until you do that, you a nigga. You're a dead man. And you're not what you think you are. You ain't no Hebrew. You don't submit to the Most High. You can talk about the commandments, but you ain't that. You're not a Moor. You don't possess that wisdom. You're not a Muslim. You're not submitting to Almighty God Allah. You ain't none of that. You just a Negro who talks with no power because you can't even exercise a basic level of unity, which means not even arguing about the labels to begin with. You a nigga, and that's all you are. It's sad. And that's what this system is saying. It's sad. I don't argue when it comes to our people over these labels. You can talk all you want. I'm not arguing over the labels. Get out here and do some work. Until then, don't say nothing about the nation. Don't say nothing about the Hebrew Israelites. Don't say nothing about the Moorish Science Temple. Don't say nothing about Pan-Africanists. Don't say nothing about the Nawabians. Don't even say nothing about Christians. Don't say nothing about Mormons. Don't say nothing about Catholics. Don't say nothing about the Baha'i. Don't say nothing about the Rastafari. Don't say nothing. Until you realize we're one people first, and we have to move forward. There's nothing that we need to be talking about. There's nothing else that needs to be said. It's kind of embarrassing. As I said before, it is embarrassing. It really is. Because as I study this enemy, he does not separate himself into all these areas. All he looks at is, here's the amount of power I want to amass, continue to control and manipulate. And here are the different areas in which I do that. Schooling and education, religion, science, medicine. Hey, I handle it. I get it all done. Y'all can argue over your labels. I'm going to exercise my power and go ahead and move you around like pawns. That's what I do. And y'all still arguing. I don't get into that nonsense. That's why I don't allow people to come at me in that way. I don't get into that. Oh, RIZZA Nation of Islam, shut up. Well, y'all that shut up. Well, you ain't really shut up. Well, you're petty. Yes, I'm being very petty, but I'm nothing like this enemy. You might want to get a page out of his book and get the freak focused. Don't argue with me about no religion. You don't even know half of what the hell you think you know about your own belief. You don't. It's over. Stop it. Don't come at me with the nonsense. I'm interested in using this to destroy his system and build up our own. I'm not interested in using this to attack our own people. I'm not interested in using this to attack our own people. I'm not interested in using this to attack our own people. I'm not interested in using this to attack our own people. I'm going to say this again so we can get this to our head. I'm not interested in using this to attack our own people. It's too easy. It is petty. It is childish. It is feeble-minded. It is unneeded. It is counterproductive. It is asinine. It is punitive. It is completely detrimental. It is ass backwards. I'm not interested in using this to attack our own people. Leave it alone. I'm not interested in using this to attack our own people. You think I've been studying for over 20 years and being involved in the community for roughly 22 years just for me to use the weapon that Allah blessed me with to attack my own? You crazy? This enemy knows we coming at him. He knows this. Literally. And so any of our people who have a sharp mind that is militant, based in true love for God, love for people, loyalty to who we are, and overall progress towards solutions, separation from him in this system, and total independence, he ain't interested in having none of us talk. Are you serious? He's not interested in none of you listening. He's not interested in none of us uniting and coming together and doing something for ourselves. It's just that simple. Plain and simple. Don't argue with me about the damn Bible. You don't understand it. Don't argue with me about the Holy Quran. You don't understand it. The very basis for people arguing over what they think they believe is inside of the understanding that they don't believe or understand what they believe. You wouldn't be arguing with me about the Holy Quran if you truly understood it. You wouldn't be arguing with me about the Bible if you truly understood it. You wouldn't be arguing. Why? Because the principles and the messages are telling you, separate from Satan, unite with the righteous. If you ain't doing that, then you don't understand what the hell you think you understand. That includes every other religion. That includes every other single religion. That includes every other field of thought. That includes everything. Whatever hood you banging, whatever hood you claiming, whatever area or part of the planet you think you are from, or what you call yourself and claim yourself to be a part of. If you are not working to separate from this evil, wicked system and unite with those of your people who are like-minded to do something for yourselves, then there is nothing you need to be saying, because you're not doing what you think you're doing. You're not. I'm not. We're not. We're just a bunch of people talking. At the end of the day, if we're not working towards that, that's all. That's all. This is me giving you the advice. I read out of the ISIS papers. For those who are not on, let me read this last. It's only one paragraph. It's just right here. One paragraph that I read. For those of you who understand why I even got on this live and why I was talking about what happened with the Africans dealing with Morocco and Spain and that whole situation that was not being covered by mainstream media, but on the other end, the Ukraine was, because they don't give a damn, because they black folk. It's just that plain and simple. Because they are black, they don't give a damn. It is 2022, and they demonstrated to this very day, up to this very moment, they don't give a damn. But let me go ahead and remind y'all, I'm gonna read this real quick right here. Just one little paragraph right here. Chapter 15 of the ISIS papers. Page 183. Chapter is titled The Symbolism, Logic, and Meaning of Justifiable Homicide in the 1980s. Quote, black people are afraid, but black people are going to have to get over their fear. Black people do not know what is happening, but black people are going to have to learn and understand what is happening. Black people are not thinking, but black people are going to have to begin thinking. Black people are not being quiet, but black people are going to have to start getting quiet so they can think. Black people are not analyzing and planning, but black people are going to have to begin analyzing and planning. Black people do not understand deep self-respect, but black people are going to have to learn the meaning and practice of deep self-respect. Black people are going to have to stop permitting black children to play with parenthood. Black people are going to have to stop moaning, rocking, crying, complaining, and begging. Black people are going to have to stop thinking that rhyme and rhetoric will solve problems. Black people are going to have to stop finger pointing and singing. Black people are going to have to stop dancing and clowning. Black people are going to have to stop laughing and listening to loud radios. All of these behaviors and many more have absolutely nothing to do with the addressing of the challenges and conditions of the open warfare continuously being waged against the black collective. That was her writing that in the 1980s. Get quiet, think, strategize like your enemy does. Think tanks like your enemy has. Stop talking about all the moves that you're supposed to be making and you're about to make on the enemy's network. You don't see Brother RIZZA Islam's car. You don't see all the different people Brother RIZZA Islam meets with. You don't see me posting up pictures with all the different celebrities that actually do call me. You'll see me post up one every now and then with certain artists that I meet, but you don't know who I'm talking to. You don't see me post up the different organizations that I work with when it comes to being in the community and how we're helping the community and doing what we need to do for the community. Some things I post up to demonstrate, to show an example of what needs to be done when it comes to feeding the homeless, building different organizations, working with those who are battered women and children, or people who are running away from dangerous situations and circumstances and all kinds of different things. But then there are a lot of things happening in the community that we should not promote, because the enemy is looking for certain moves that are being made so that he can prevent them from being successful to the highest level and degree. So there's certain ways we have to move when it comes to that. But we have to be mindful that as of right now, we're not in the position to announce our moves. We're not in the position to be out here bragging about everything. We can, however, promote the good things that are being done to a degree, promote the progress, promote the idea of progressing, promote the fact that we are uniting, promote the idea and the fact that we are doing good things over and over and over again, promote the idea of getting land, promote the idea of being independent and coming together as a people, and black marriage and black love and all of these beautiful things. Promote that, but we do not have the solid foundation to promote every single thing that we're doing. We don't have it. Not right now. We're not in that position. Not right now. We must love each other, unite with one another, separate from the system, establish our own everything. Simple as that. Love each other, unite with one another, separate from this system, establish our own everything. Love each other, unite with one another, separate from the system, establish our own everything. Start at home. Start at home. Plain and simple. I had to get this off my chest just real quick, because there's a lot of things that I'm seeing and dealing with, as we're in the community, and there's a lot that we have to keep our focus. That's all. We're not out yet. We're not out yet. All of our leaders have been teaching us this for a long time. And now we're at the point where they're trying to lull us back to sleep. It ain't happening. It will not happen. They are trying to lull us back to sleep. And I noticed this. I got to say this real quick about BET. The BET Awards. Did you watch the whole thing, RIZZA? No, I didn't. BET was sold in 2011 to Viacom, Jewish-owned organization, white-owned organization, not black-owned. So black-owned, black entertainment television is not owned by black people. That's number one, biggest red flag. No other group of people allows that to really happen in that manner. I think Telemundo, however, did sell theirs, but representation and how we're represented is different. BET was sold. The moment BET was sold, the image of black people began to change. The image of black families, black love, black strong women, independent black families from the system, and black men with education and knowledge, wisdom, talking about building things and educating the young men and getting in the community and becoming those who would prevent violence and solving issues, etc., etc. They start to change into the Real Housewives of this, Bad Girls Club that, this group, that group, this situation, that situation. It started pushing sex more than they were already pushing sex, because let's not forget there was something called BET After Dark, if y'all remember that. That was under black ownership. So there was that. And it wasn't pornography, but it was music videos where they show more of the X-rated type of stuff with the women twerking and stuff like that, and the Nelly tip drill, and just being honest, this is where it was. But it wasn't to the depth of where it is at now. BET has become black effeminizing television, black embarrassing television, black endangered television, meaning the militant black man, the masculine black man, the neutral black family is now being portrayed to be endangered. It is not endangered, but the way they are portraying it on BET is in a way where it will make you think it is endangered. The same way they push the image of the homosexual circumstance. Why? This is supposed to be black entertainment, demonstrating our excellence, rewarding one for our progress. This sister, that award for that black woman and her excellence, that award for that black man and his excellence, the award for this black man and his musical expertise and his performances, and that sister for her talent and how she acted and went into portraying the character of this person and one of our greats, or etc. in a movie or a film, and we are rewarding based off of our display of our elegance, our excellence, our understanding of entertaining from a perspective of intelligence and how we can do things in a way where we represent. It went from that to now pushing sex, pushing gay, trans. I believe Mr. Billy Porter, who said, "We're here, we're queer, get used to it, get over it." Negro. Brother. See, if white people didn't want it to be seen, it wouldn't be. And also, let me add, if black people didn't want it to be seen, it wouldn't be. But why are we allowing, and let me say this to anybody who's in the LGBT as well, y'all know we love our family, so it's not that. A large percentage of the LGBT is tired. Y'all are tired and sick of this nonsense. A large percentage of y'all are just tired of it because now it's like, okay, hold on, dude. Hey, I came here to watch some black excellence. What is this? A grown man looking like, portraying, and mind you, I'm telling you this, when I saw what they had him wearing, Billy Porter, when I saw what the designers had him wear, that looked like the two shoulder bones, extended bones coming up to here, his outfit with the hair the way it was and the coloring of the eye connectors on the eyelashes that made it look like the eyes were white and red here. He looked just like the demon from the movie Pumpkinhead. I'm not making fun of him. I'm telling y'all how they program and what they are pushing. They were pushing a modern day demonic thing, number one, and number two, they're pushing the effeminization of the black man. Why are you promoting making the black man homosexual, making him weak? Well, we love our people, love is love. Stop it. There's a reason why the Chinese removed images of weak, effeminate Chinese men from any shows, TV commercials, etc., because they stated we do not want other nations to see us as being weak. Now, if you think, oh, that's just terrible, they're discriminating, listen, we are in a real world and real nations protect themselves intelligently. If you show the world that you have nothing but weak, broken-wristed men, then what you are showing is that your nation can be easily destroyed, taken over, abused, robbed, etc. America promotes black men being that way, but you don't see a whole bunch of white men up on that stage. You see Billy Porter doing all that, and then you see Jack Harlow up there, or Brandy, trying to act like he black with his masculinity. But you see Billy Porter up there with his high effeminate self. Lizzo with her big gay black dancers. I'm saying it because it's the facts, and we're brothers, and we love y'all. But look at what they're doing. That's all I'm saying. Knock it off. We ain't got to judge nobody. We love our family. We love the people, rappers, dancers. We love y'all. But there are things we got to stop being involved in. That's all. Period. There's certain things we have to stop being involved in that don't help us anymore. There's no purpose to it other than depopulation and the destruction of our people. If it is destroying our people, we can't get down with it. We love our people. We love, no matter what you call it, a rapper, dancer, singer, we love you. You already know that. But there's certain behaviors and things we can't love no more because we are loving death and it's killing us, man. That's it. We got to represent each other better and represent our ancestors better. So I did not expect to be on this long. I got to go to sleep because I have to get up and go to the mosque. But I pray someone was said that helped y'all. I pray you have a good day. If you didn't get the ISIS papers, man, you got to go get that book. Also, link in the bio to get Message to the Millennials. Also, link in the bio for those who took the shot, didn't take the shot, want to know about the immune system, how it works, etc., and a whole lot more regarding that. Myself and cellular and molecular biologist Dr. Christina Parks are conducting a digital class. Link in the bio. July 13th. I'm going to see you on class very soon. Peace, peace, peace. Assalamu alaikum.